Hey guys, Darren here. I need to do a bloopers reel. I think this is about the 8th time I've tried to do this stupid video. And if I have to redo it one more time, I'm going to call it quits. Okay, so here we go. Update. Yes, this is what I'm doing. So I got this in the mail yesterday. The new As I Lay Dying. This is a German pressing on Napalm Records. Actually, it's from Austria. Um, I love this band. I really do. Um, they started out as a Christian band, which was one of the reasons why I liked them, because of the lyrical content, plus the music's good. They started out more, to me, they started out more as a metalcore act, but they've transferred over more to me as more of a deathcore. They still have clean vocals on it, but Tim's vocal style is more deathcore growl kind of thing as opposed to just the screaming. I think I could be wrong. Everybody could be, you know. But I got the CD as well. My turntables on the has been retired as of a little while ago. It stopped. The one turntable I have, my Yamaha. I was playing the new Warlord, and all of a sudden it started to go 45, like halfway through the song. So I'm like, I can't do that. So I took that one down, and then I hooked up my other turntable, only to find out that the needle's poached. So I gotta go today maybe and grab a new needle. Anywho, this is the said album that I was playing, the new Warlord, and this is called Free Spirit Soar. Standard black, not a gatefold. Um, there is some songs on here from William J. Tammis. I'm gonna guess and say that he had some of these songs already written or 3/4 written or whatever, and the band put it out to pay homage to him. If you like epic heavy metal in the vein of Warlord, I highly recommend it. From what I've heard, it's really good. Like I said, this is the record that it started to spin at 45 RPM. Yeah, not good. Now I'll do my last vinyl. The new Nile. The underworld awaits us all. Um, Straight up Egyptian themed death metal. This is a double black vinyl with gatefold, printed inner sleeves. If you on standard black, if you don't know who Nile is, they are very much a death metal band. I highly recommend them. I have a lot of Nile. Not everything, but a lot of Nile. Let's do these. So I was at the flea market yesterday. I went after church, and I haven't been in. I mean, I've been working every weekend since mid-August, and yesterday was my first Sunday off since. So I went to church, early service, and I figured, well, I have to go to the Pen to pick up my wife's Christmas presents, and then I'm gonna hit the flea market. So I picked these up. He had all of these there. Remember this magazine, Brave Words and Bloody Knuckles? Well, he had them, still sealed, for $10 each. And when I remember when they came out, they were, I think they were $7.99, and then they went to $9.99. Um, I had every single issue except for the very first issue. I had every issue, and I needed some money, so I ended up selling them along with the CDs, and I'm kicking myself in the arse for it. I have some of the CDs, but not all of them. But I picked these ones up, still sealed. Like this one goes back all the way to, what date's this one? Conquer Brave Picks 2001. So this is March issue of 2002. And this one was April of 1999. So these issues are, I don't think I'm going to open them. I've read these all cover to cover. I think I still have some of the CDs. I just might leave them. And see this issue, August 06. It was around, see, issue 97. It was around, it was around forever, this magazine. A few years, anyways. Which is issue 78 from May 2004. I still wish they had the printed. They have it online. It's not the same anymore. And then the mighty Opeth on the cover. See, $7.99 at HMV. HMV was a really popular record store chain. And the guy that put these magazines out, Metal Tim Henderson, he worked at HMV, and he was responsible. I don't know what else he did, but I know that he was in charge of the metal section, and that metal section was huge. And they had everything in there. They had imports. They had, I don't know if they had bootlegs. I can't remember if I got a bootleg or two from there. But if you wanted something, you went up to that store. This was all in Toronto, downtown Toronto on Yonge Street. And yeah, I wish I could get all of them back. Unfortunately, I can't. But I know I've gone online and opened without the CD. Like, people are nuts. I went on eBay and they want $18 for the magazine and then $34 to ship it to Canada. Like, I love this magazine, but I'm not paying $60 Canadian for a friggin' magazine that doesn't come, like some of these magazines, the earlier issues used to come with stickers and CDs. I think a couple of them came with patches. Like, they came with everything. And as they went on, every issue came with a CD. Some of the stuff on the CD, like this one, has Cheaper Than Therapy. I've never heard of it. It has Gatto on this, which is awesome. Derek Sherenian, Sherenian. He was the keyboard player for Dream Theater, I believe, for a little while, and then Liquid Tension Experiment. I think he was in that band. Soilwork, Silencer, Marty Freeman, Alchemist, Halloween, Eric Norlander, Chinchilla, Chris Cater, Event, Passenger, Cryptopsy, Agony Creeps, Havoc Hate, and Haste. Some bands you hear, some bands you don't. I remember back in the day, like waiting at. Used to go to a record shop uptown on St. Paul Street in St. Catharines here, and Tantrum Records, run by the two of the coolest girls that you ever want to meet, Irene and Jen, and they man, they would order this magazine in because they had a few customers, but every month I'd get a call. Darren, your magazine's in. Your magazine's in. And I'd be like, up there I went. Every month. I remember my best friend Chris, he would get the magazine too. I don't know if he got all of them, but yeah, it's funny. I used to collect Circus Magazine, Hit Parader, Rip. Remember that band? That magazine, Rip. Metal Maniacs. I used to collect all of them, and then for some reason I don't know if I know I sold all the Brave Words for $100 because I needed cash. Oh man, I just kicked myself in the tail for doing that. But I got those 5 issues. It brings back a lot of childhood memories, man. I'm telling you. Just awesome. Just awesome. As a Brave Words was probably my favorite magazine. I do have, like, if you see, let me see if I can do this without, yeah, all these right here, those are all magazines. I've got forget what magazines I got in there. Revolver. I have a bunch of Revolver magazines. I went to the thrift shop the one day, and they had about 6 or 7 of these Revolver magazines. They were in great shape, so I they were $1 each. So I picked them all up, brought them home, put them in the magazine bags. I've got like a lot of magazines that are like this. Like this magazine is all on Boston, and like it has everything on Boston from the beginning till, I don't know, I think now. I don't know if they have Tracy Ferry. Yep, there he is. So they have everything right up until when he was in the band. Tommy DiCarlo, the vocal player. Brad Delp, 1951 to 2007. Sad with him. But yep. And then I have a couple of Metallica. This is the Rolling Stone one. I can't remember if there was another Rolling Stone one. I got a couple of Grateful Dead magazines. I've got a couple of Queen magazines. I think 2 Guns N' Roses, a Motley Crue, a couple of Van Halen, a few Eagles. I think there was 3 Eagles. Time Magazine put them out. Rolling Stone put them out. Like this Grateful Dead is Time Magazine. I think there was a Rolling Stones Grateful Dead. They've done a ton of Beatles ones. I never bought the Beatle ones because I'm not like an enormous fan of the Beatles. I like the Beatles. I have a few Beatles records. I'm not a massive, I gotta have that. But they had a ton of them. Oh, I got a couple of Rush. I think I have 3 Rush. The one Rush one I had is them on the cover of Rolling Stone. Maybe I'll do a magazine shoot one day, like a Geddy Lee, My Effin' Life, as you'll hear. Hasn't even been cracked yet. I haven't even started to read it yet. But it's supposed to be a really good book. I will eventually get around to... See, I'm not a huge reader. Like magazines, fine. Reading puts me to sleep, man. Puts me to sleep. But I'll get around to reading it. I have a ton of books. That whole bookcase behind me right there, that's all books on bands and music and stuff like that. So now I'll get into this pile of CDs and then we'll go from there. I'm at 14 minutes 32 seconds. I should shut up and just go. So like I said, I went to the flea market yesterday, and he's got a big metal section for CDs. So I picked up Stradivarius. This is the Polaris double CD, side studio, side live. Finnish power metal. I don't think one guy in the band is original. I should do a video on that. Elysium, only to find that I have this copy already. So I might pass this one on. We'll see. I'm sure a lot of people that in the metal community have that album. Nemesis, another Stradivarius. This came out in 2013, 2011, 2010. So these are relatively older CDs. I think I have 3 already Stradivarius CDs. Can't find them. Anyways, they're in here somewhere, like along here. But yeah, doesn't matter. I picked this up only because it's a Canadian pressing, and it's from Columbia House, distributed by Columbia House, and that is the Scorpions Animal Magnetism, and it has a different back than this one. And this one is a Columbia House pressing as well, like a distribution, but it has a different back. And this was only $8, and it's a great album. It has Make It Real, which is a great song. The Zoo, which is probably one of my favorite songs. Probably Burn the Sky is my favorite Scorpions song. I think that song is that song is just awesome. And that's off of Taken by Force, I believe. Local, and local I mean Hamilton thrash band. They got a few albums out. This was like an EP, I think. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 song EP. These guys are out of Hamilton, I believe, and they're just a straight up thrash band. Kind of, what would they be like? Maybe an Overkill-ish kind of style of thrash. Nice and crunchy and heavy. Some of these I can't remember if I've shown them, so I'll flip through them quick. I can't, like I said, I can't remember if I've shown. There's a bunch that I have got here that I didn't file, so that tells me that I didn't do a video on them. Anyways, Judas Priest. This is British Steel 30th anniversary edition, 2010. It's got the CD and a DVD. CD is remastered. Killswitch Engage. Excuse me. I'm not a huge metalcore fan because I find it to be kind of like wannabe metal. But there are some bands that I wouldn't, more or less, they have metalcore leanings. I guess it's easier for me to digest. They're more thrash, like hardcore, maybe a little bit on the death metal side in some areas. But Killswitch Engage, although they are labeled a metalcore act, the Signal Fire, like that song just rips on this album. Like I said, I have a few metalcore bands that I really like. As I Lay Dying and Killswitch Engage are probably my top 2. I'm not a huge metalcore fan. I don't like when they sing, like they're screaming and blah, 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 and then they go really wimpy kind of melodic vocals that are like power metal stuff. To me, it doesn't fit most of the time because they put it in the most awkward places, I find. There's a lot of bands out there that are just, yeah, no thanks. The Hollies, Bus Stop is on here. My favorite song. I think it's the only song I really I haven't listened to this album, but Bus Stop, I've listened to probably a million times. Mamas and the Papas, I dig them. They were really good. I picked this up at the um, not the flea market, the charity shop. I think it was $1.99 or something like that. So I grabbed that. Steely Dan, another one. This is Greatest Hits, and this has Do It Again, Ricky Don't Lose That Number, which I didn't know was a Steely Dan song, which is odd. Reelin' in the Years, and what was the other big hit they had? I can't remember. Maybe it was just those three. Do It Again, Ricky Don't Lose That Number, Reelin' in the Years. Yeah. It's funny, you throw on a Steely Dan record and you're like, oh, I've heard this before. But you don't know it's Steely Dan kind of thing. Because I'm not huge. Like, I was always into metal. And when Steely Dan was coming up back in the 60s and 70s and in that, I never really paid attention to most of it. The Who, on the other hand, I did, because I love The Who. The only thing is, this album doesn't have Boris the Spider on it, which is probably my favorite song. But it's got the theme song to CSI, which is You Won't Get Fooled Again. And I find that the CSI trilogies, they did a lot of Who stuff. I picked this up just because it's part of the collection. It's Michael Sweet from Stryper. It's his solo stuff. I think it was $2. So I picked it up just to add it to my collection. This band I can't pronounce the name of. Takalation. I guess I can't pronounce it. Mind Infection. They are a Finnish thrash band. I don't know, I probably have mentioned this before. I'll go on Amazon and I'll find stuff for like $10. Like, I'll type in thrash metal CDs under $10, and then some will scroll up, and I'll go online. The cover looks cool, like that one. I'll go on YouTube and I'll YouTube the band, and if it comes up, I'll listen to it, and it's either a yes or no. This band was a yes. There's been some bands that have been really awesome, but lyrically, no, I can't. A lot of satanic stuff. I don't do Satan too terribly much. I think it's kind of old and like whatever. Speaking of Satan, it's the new Stryper. Probably the most well-known Christian band on the metal front. Certainly the most high profile. So I guess that would be probably the most well-known. There have been, oh my goodness, what other ones? To me, Sacred Warrior would probably be even better than Stryper. Stryper's awesome, but Sacred Warrior is just that upper Queensryche-ish, upper echelon for Christian bands. Ray Parra was awesome vocalist. He's in Deny the Fallen, Worldview, I believe. Not Sacred Warrior anymore. I don't think he's in Sacred Warrior. Maybe he's back in it. I know Eli Princeton was in it. Was in Sacred Warrior. He did their latest album, which is probably 10 years ago. I might want to say now. Waiting for Darkness or something. So yeah, Stryper, definitely check that out. I have the vinyl coming. For some reason, it kept getting pushed back. I don't know why. And then I was watching Scott's video, and he had it. So I'm like, it says on Amazon not released until like December 6th or something, which is odd because I thought it said November 22nd at one point. But Intruder. 80s thrash. Definitely. I have the other one, Psycho Savant. I don't know what I did with it. right here. Psycho Savant and Higher Form of Killing. They only put a couple albums out. But I have this on cassette. And then I saw this for like $10 on Amazon, so I grabbed it. And then I'm like, well, I want that one on CD. And then I spotted this one for $11 on CD, so I grabbed them. Another one that I got for like $9 or something like that, Vile, which is called Metamorphoses. This is tech death along the lines of Obscura. What else would it be? Obscura. And I got a band in my head and I can't think of it right now. Can't remember the name. But they're along the lines of Obscura. Beyond Creation. That style of... Well, this album is anyways. I don't know what the earlier stuff is. And then last but not least, at the 26-minute mark, Somewhere Far Beyond Revisited by Blind Guardian. 3-disc set. Crazy killer album. I have this album, the vinyl, on my Christmas list from my wife, which I'm pretty sure I got sitting upstairs. She just doesn't know I know. And I have a Catatonia album, Viva Emptiness, which is my favorite, absolutely flawless record. Viva Emptiness by Catatonia. I highly recommend that album. Anyways, this is on Nuclear Blast. Came out 2024, obviously. Again, awesome album. I have this on standard like CD. I've got it. I can't remember. My Blind Guardian collection is way up there somewhere. Yeah, anyways. Yeah. So highly recommend it. Anyways, that, my friends, is my it'll be 28 minutes by the time this is done, by the time I'm ranting and raving and carrying on. Yeah, I'm going to do a music room tour today, because my music room is kind of right where I want it. I just got to put these away and clean up a bit, and then I'm going to post a music room tour. Okay? You guys take care, God bless, and I'll see you in the next video, probably in about 10 minutes. Cheers!